We got McGregor and Machine Gun Kelly going at it.
This is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I find interesting about the Conor McGregor Machine Gun Kelly thing is they had a little beef at the VMAs. Seeing both of their PR teams try to be the first one to start the story was fascinating. So Machine Gun Kelly's team dropped it first.
And this is what I read on People, I think.
And they put out the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Conor attacked him after Machine Gun Kelly said he wasn't willing to take a picture with Conor.
Yeah.
Which is...
I also read he wanted a picture with Megan Fox, and she said no, and then he got upset. There's multiple there's tons of stories out there about
right.
what happened.
But the idea that like Conor was a fanboy and you were like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's a wild flex.
That's a super flex. Right? Conor's team is like, no, that didn't happen at all. I forget exactly what Conor's team. They said it was something like he didn't even know who Machine Gun Kelly was.
Yeah.
And
he said Conor only fights fighters.
Yeah,
he only
he doesn't fight.
Which isn't true. He punched an old man.
He punched an old man.
He also threw the water bottle at Machine Gun Kelly and had to be held back.
He fought a bus. He threw a forklift at a bus, basically. This guy will fight anything.
He could fight a rhino. That guy could take a rhino, 100%.
He would be a rhino hunter.
100%.
He would be a rhino hunter.
Yeah, he's got it in him.
I'm going to put out a movie called Rhino Hunter, and it's going to be the greatest movie that's
How
ever
have they not made a movie
despite
about
all of you.
It's the sequel to Shark Night.
Yeah. And you know what? It's going to be directed by not AlexxMedia. That's who it's going to be. I will have Shark Night too. We'll make Shark Night.
Rhino Night.
I can make
That
Shark
was
Night.
another thing you said is, how have they not made a movie about this? I thought it was going to be so fucking epic, dog. You got to understand the expectations you set.
The movie is coming. The movie is coming. It will be directed.
4 minutes long.
It'll be directed by fucking Steven Spielberg.
A short film.
It'll be written by David Fincher.
Okay.
It'll be directed by Steven Spielberg, and it will be about getting the animals. It'll be getting the animals to
You
roam.
think he's going to go from fucking Jurassic Park and dinosaurs to taking cubs?
It's actually in the ballpark. That's actually not a good
He
argument.
would do it.
I think
No, it's not in the ballpark.
He's
in
going
the
to do
ballpark.
it. He's going to do it. You're going to ask for a role. I'm going to let you play a role.
And what's he gonna be?
He's going to be a stick that they fucking use to prod the rhinoceros. just stand straight right there. We'll let you poke a fucking rhino. And then Al, you don't get to do anything in it. You get to watch
when
it.
you were saying the Cub story, though.
I thought it was genius.
He was so excited.
Dude, the fucking...
How do you steal a cub?
And they would catch
Are you
up,
serious?
and they would drop one.
How do you steal a cub? The
Mother's
mom's
got to go get food for the cub.
Yeah.
So you just gotta sit there and wait. You gotta watch.
Yeah.
On a horse,
Ooh,
bro.
difficult.
The horse doesn't go as fast as the tiger.
Imagine holding 4
Yeah.
cats.
Son, they got to
that's
scoop
kind of
up 4
impressive.
cats. What are you going to
God,
hold
they
them in a
like
basket?
this.
Do you have
4
a
cats.
chariot? Do you have a chariot?
They
They're
probably
like
had a basket or
this.
something. They
Son,
probably had a
y'all don't
bag.
even know the levels of
Burlap
flexing
sack.
going on, son. Like, y'all don't even know, like, do y'all know that fucking Augustus tried to come out with a chariot that didn't have horses in the front and had lions?
But that's kind of hard.
That's not fire?
That's fire.
You can't herd cats. That's why they have that saying.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't
Augustus,
work.
you can. You can, Mark. You can. But are you Augustus?
I'm
Well,
not
you said he
against
tried. Did he succeed?
I failed in that shit. I'm just saying. I'm just saying he
caught that. I was like, I
tried.
was like-
Son, he tried. He went for it, dog. They was trying to go for it back in the day.
I just think you led with a bad example. That's all. You
Fuck
still
you,
didn't get
fuck
to
you,
rhinoceros.
Fuck you both. I want you both
You
to
still
fuck each
haven't
other's
told us
mouths.
how rhinoceros happened.
Okay, rhinoceros is it's none of your business. You won't appreciate it. You can never understand. I'm making the movie. Both of your scenes are getting cut out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we're gonna feed Al to the fucking rhinoceros. Okay.
It's the opposite of Ace Ventura. You're getting put in the rhinoceros.
Yeah.
hat.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Okay. What else? What else we got?
Machine Gun
Feelings
Kelly,
and facts.
I
We didn't
think-
finish that yet.
I think it's a PR stunt.
Interesting.
I think
Connor's in on it or not?
I think Connor's in on it. I think he can't be spiraling this badly. I also think Machine Gun Kelly needs something all the time because none of us know his music.
We're also old.
Some though.
That's the thing that I realized. Like, I'm with you on that, and I had that perspective on him for a while. But apparently, he had like a #1 song. He's like doing this rock thing, and it's basically like younger girls are into him.
Yes, that I believe.
The music isn't for our generation. We just remember him obviously from the Eminem beef and before when he was a rapper. So we're like, oh yeah, so we should be into your new music. But the reality is, no.
Was he big as a rapper?
He was always
Yeah.
like very like connected industry and had like a devout following. That's what I remember.
He was known. He had a couple of songs. But
Did
I
he
mean,
manage them?
I think
So he
he's-
was always
yeah.
connected. and it was like-
Yeah. Did he manage him? I think he's one of those guys.
industry player.
And maybe I'm just old. Quite possible. I think he's one of those guys that maybe he's an industry plant. The talent isn't as big as the star power. And part of that means you got to keep the PR machine rolling. We know entertainers whose talent is fine, good maybe, but somehow they're just always in the tabloids.
Kendrick can drop an album whenever he wants and then become the talk of the town. There are other people that need to constantly be the talk of the town because they can't necessarily go back to the album or to the art to do it. Now, I guess the pushback that he would have on that is like, I just have a number one fucking song. Like the music is there. Yeah, and then a lot of people thought that he got Eminem on that in the battle. Like, he didn't do bad.
He didn't do badly. I also was more so I was like, oh, Eminem didn't really bring it like he normally does, as opposed to, yo, Machine Gun Kelly fucking ripped it.
Which if you show up to a fight and you don't fight that good, that's an L.
Yeah, he has a number one song. Again, to me, you can get a number one song just off of being famous. And I think he's a guy that is, I'm going to drive the tabloids and that will drive the career. And that could very well be wrong. Right. But to me, him and Connor having a thing, that's headlines for Connor, which he always thrives on. Yeah. And that's headlines for MGK. It looks like he's defending his girl in a certain way. It's like, all right, well, this is good for both of them.
I see that. I can see that point. I think what's happening right now is that Connor is in like an incredibly sensitive state because the thing that he is identified as for the largest part of his life, I would say the majority of his life, is being able to fuck people up.
Yeah.
And he physically can't do it right now. And I think that that's affecting the rest of his psyche as well. Like, you ever have a bad show?
Yeah.
And then, right? And like, there's insecurity that comes with a bad show.
Yeah, it ruins your whole day.
But you're also like looking to be validated, right? Like at any point in time, like if somebody messages you and you're like, yo, I just saw this clip, it was fucking hilarious. Oh, that feels really good. Yeah. Now I'm going to stop thinking these negative thoughts that I have in my head about how I'm bad. And I'm like, oh, maybe people think that I'm pretty good. But if anything gets sent out that confirms those negative thoughts that you have in your head.
Real problem.
Right? It's a real problem.
Exactly.
Because that's what you're feeling, and then someone just confirmed it. So imagine you're feeling insecure.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this did happen, but imagine you're feeling insecure, and then you ask somebody for a picture.
Right.
And they say no. If he's already feeling insecure, like he's losing his grasp of control in terms of him being an elite fighter, him being the talk of the town in the conversation with MMA.
Yeah.
And now this other celebrity says, I don't want to take a picture with you. That's your biggest fear. Are you losing it? Is it going away?
Or even he just was a little bit like he bumped into him or whatever, something small. It could not be picture, but it could be like he kind of bumped him and shoved him off. And it's like, wait, does this fucking civilian think just because he's taller than me and I'm on one leg, I can't fuck him up? Is that how far I've fallen in this perception? Is that how is that how much I'm not a fighter to people anymore? Is this fucking...
Because let's be honest, the people that fuck people up, like the people who are real beasts, at least the ones that I've met in my life, are the nicest, kindest individuals.
Nothing to prove.
Nothing. If you really feel like you could fuck anybody up, you laugh when somebody says something to you. Someone talks some shit, you're like, all right, buddy.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of guys who could really destroy, like end people's lives, do this. All right, buddy, just calm down. Because they know if it really gets to the shits, it's a wrap, right? Yeah. And I don't think that Connor right now in his state, and understandably so, is at the level to be like, all right, buddy, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low-key, I think it's a Megan Fox thing.
What do you mean?
Like, the way that they were interacting, like, I watched this, like...
Did you see the video of the whole thing? I only saw...
Yeah, I just see...
I watched the video of the water thing.
Okay.
So, like, him, like, throwing the water at him and, like, getting held off. But then I saw an interview after where they asked Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox what was going on.
And,
like, the whole interview... Actually, no, it was before the altercation. But their whole interaction, their whole energy is so bizarre. So, like, they're talking to the reporter, and they were like, all right, so, Megan, like, why'd you wear this? Why'd you wear that outfit? And she was like, oh, because Daddy said he wanted me naked. And then they're like, what? And then Machine Gun Kelly's just standing in the back, like, yeah. And then, like, they're making out on camera.
Yeah,
and
they're
then she's
really
like,
going for that fucking...
So, like, they have this weird, like, daddy complex thing where she's like, yeah, I just do what Daddy wants. Like, that's the whole situation.
Isn't he younger than her?
Yes, and I think that's
but I could see Connor being like, oh, I know Megan Fox. Let me say what's up. And then she has to, like, report up to her daddy, and then they have a beef. So that's what I assumed it was.
Interesting.
Because I can't imagine Connor knows or cares who Machine Gun Kelly is. But I think he does care who Megan Fox is.
I cannot imagine Connor wants a picture of Machine Gun Kelly.
I could see him wanting a picture of Megan Fox.
I could see the Megan Fox thing, even though he was there with wifey.
Yeah, but it's like, let me get a picture of Megan Fox.
And she's an iconic figure. Like, of course, he's probably seen her in fucking movies for the last, decade.
Yeah.
So that's
she was famous before he was famous.
Yeah. 100%. And what is
She's so trash. If she's calling him daddy,
Who,
that
Machine Gun Kelly?
Yeah, I just dropped her down like a
But-
bunch of notches in my book.
But I think what's happening, and I don't, okay, like the most cynical version of me goes, all right, the whole relationship is constructed because you have these two figures that people are kind of interested in. They're famous enough, but when their powers combined, all of a sudden it's really interesting, right? They're interesting people to look at. Megan is absolutely stunning. Like she's one of the most beautiful celebs out there. She looks like a pinup girl. Like she looked like she's tattooed on like Navy people's arm back in the day, like World War II tattoos. Stunning, right? And the Machine Gun Kelly is an interesting thing to look at.
Yeah, he's wearing the fucking rhinestones on his face.
Yeah, like so now you combine them and it's just you're multiplying, right? So
yeah, I'll
now,
stare at them.
Boom.
He's also tall. I think he's like 6'5".
Yeah,
like,
big kid, right? So now all of a sudden, like, you know, blogs are picking it up and everybody loves a relationship, right? They're kind of interesting. And I think what happens is the most cynical version is like they plan this, like they've planned past relationships of famous people, and then they just are leaning into the things that work. Ooh, we're gonna do the Angelina Jolie, what was the other guy's name?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob thing, where we're like super sexual and like into it. Like a lot of the posts are on Instagram are like, oh my God, what happened on this table this weekend has got to be, you know, it can't be shared or whatever like that. It's like it's this oversharing of the sexualization of a relationship, and it almost seems like I see what you're doing here. Now, the most cynical version is the whole thing is contrived and orchestrated and put together. The more realistic take is they like each other. They started dating. The tabloids loved it, and they realized they were getting way more press for their relationship maybe than the other things going on in their lives. Her movies, his, you know, music, etc. So they're like, this is the movie. This is the music. This is the clout. Let's lean into this thing, and we get mutual benefit. Megan Fox get looked at as the hot girl again. She's in her 30s, has had kids. People always thought she was hot, but maybe she wasn't the hot
You
chick.
forgot about her.
Yeah, maybe there was like other girls. There were also Margot Robbie's coming in looking pretty hot. We're
The thing
not
about being a hot
Megan.
girl is there's always another hot girl coming.
Boom. But now everybody talking about her, and you don't think that her manager and them got the Google analytics and they're like, yo, people are searching your name 10,000 times more when you and him are making out in public. So, and then they're doing the same with him. They're going, yo, people are searching your name 10,000 times more when you guys wear something crazy. And
It
you're
validates
talking all
him.
sexual. Boom.
It kind of like reminds us of her and it validates him.
Yeah, it's like when everybody thought that Tom Cruise was gay and all of a sudden he got married twice.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, my man got married and then married again. He was like, I am not gay.
Dr. Umar, bro.
Dr.
Let's
Umar
go.
on that ass, right? Like, the dude was with the redhead, Nicole Kidman, then Penelope Cruz, like, took down two baddies.
Right.
And they were like, all right, he's not gay, he's just weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then he was like, I'm cool with that. As long as they don't call me weird. I can still be the leading man if I'm
I
weird.
still think he's gay.
I still think he's gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But enough of the Midwest motherfuckers were like, all right, you could still do Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll keep watching.
Mark brought up a point about, this is an MGK point, but Mark brought up something, and I think it was an interesting question he asked you, Al, and I didn't get an answer, is, how do you feel about white rappers who transition into rock? Was that what you asked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always think it's a little bit like, it looks a little bit like you just kind of used rap and black people to elevate yourself, and then you transition into something more mainstream.
Sometimes it depends how they do it.
Whereas-
So like Post Malone, for example, he was a little sketchy with White Iverson, cornrows,
Yeah.
White Iverson,
Rapping about basketball.
Phantom doing donuts and shit like that, and then quickly switched up and showed kind of who he really is. But like if you, what was that other guy? The guy also from I think Texas with like big teeth and shit like
Paul
that.
Wall, baby.
Wall.
No. Another weird looking dude.
Oh, Bubba Sparks.
Not even him. It's fucking.
Is this a new guy?
Riff Raff.
Oh, Riff
Oh,
Raff.
yeah.
Like
High
that
Roller.
is somebody like if he switched over to like country or whatever, I would be like, oh yeah, you would
you just use this for
you
a
just
lick.
use the culture just to get you on, and then you switched up because it looks so performative. So it kind of depends how you do it.
We were talking about this with Derek Poston. Well,
Yeah.
sorry, what were you
I
gonna
was
say?
thinking, I kind of thought that about MGK a little bit. I was like, oh, you used it, and then you became. It's the Kid Rock shit. I felt that about Kid Rock is you were like this rap rock guy, and now you're like this kind of alt-right type, like country motherfucker. And it's like,
Yeah.
bruh.
Kid Rock, you're
Kid
saying.
Rock, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you're doing. And then I don't think MGK is by any stretch going to go alt-right, but I get a similar, like, you just kind of use this and then transition into, no, now you're a rock star.
But I think people can have different genres of music
Yeah,
inside them. Like
it's
there are
possible.
rappers that change their shit up and then they start singing a little bit more,
Yeah,
and like
it's possible.
there are R&B stars that start like rapping and Then there are like fucking rock musicians that go into fucking country, like Darius Rucker and shit.
If you want to get into music that you're not stepping on black people to get there, like there's no music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all music like is pioneered by black people.
Exactly.
So, like,
even if he does rock, it's still black music.
Yeah.
So he's still fucking with the same genre.
Yeah, it just feels a little bit
I understand what you're
different.
saying.
Yeah,
You're looking at the most cynical version of it.